Now we will discuss about the different worldviews. We will try to understand the worldviews. Classification of worldview. There may be two types of worldviews: religious and non-religious. And then religious is divided into revealed and preserved, as the Islamic worldview, that is revealed and preserved. Second may be revealed but interpolated, not preserved. For example, Christianity and Judaism. And third one may be not revealed but based on human wisdom. For example, Hinduism, Confucianism. The second type of worldview is the non-religious. Then that is divided into atheism, that is a non-religious worldview, materialism, positive, rationalism, or scientism. So these are the different types of worldview. Worldview influence all aspects of life. Some worldviews such as Islam cover all aspects of life, including the personal, social, economic, political, cultural, civilizational, besides dealing with spiritual, moral, and Aqidah issues. But there are other worldviews which focus only on spiritual, material, social, or economic aspects of human life. Any worldview should be able to answer the ultimate questions, not necessarily correct answer, but at least consistent answers. First of all, we will see the secular humanism. What is secular humanism? Secular, of or relating to worldly things, as distinguished from things relating to church and religion, not sacred or religious, temporal, worldly. And what is the humanism? Any system of thought or action based on the nature, interest, and ideals of man, specifically a modern, non-theistic, rationalist movement that holds that man is capable of self-fulfillment, ethical conduct, etc., without recourse to supernaturalism. So they deny the supernaturalism. Secular humanism is a secular ethical philosophy that emphasizes a worldview based upon naturalism, the belief that the physical world or nature is all that exists or is real. And it emphasizes scientific inquiry and rejects revealed knowledge as well as theistic morality. What are the characteristics of secular humanism? Their stance about the religion is that followers of secular humanism generally consider themselves as atheists or agnostics. They don't believe in revealed religions and hence don't accept as true the scriptures derived from them. They reject the belief in God, prophecy, creed, and rituals. Secular humanists totally oppose any influences on the free-thinking human mind by any religious authority, including those political ideologies which attempts to corrupt free thought. So they viewed as a system of values and beliefs that are opposed to the values and beliefs of traditional religions, relating to worldly things as distinguished from things relating to church and religion, not sacred religion, temporal, worldly. Humanism as any system of thought, action based on the nature, interest, and ideals of man, specifically a modern non-theistic rational movement that holds that man is capable of self-fulfillment, ethical conduct, etc., without recourse to supernaturalism. Their stance about the education. Secular humanists are not creationists. They believe the universe is self-existing and has not been created. Humankind is a part of nature and has emerged as a result of continuous natural evolutionary forces. They hold Darwin's theory of evolution to be true impose it on many dimensions of human life and not just biological. They extend its scope, scope of Darwin theory on the different aspects of life. And sexual expression, secular humanists don't consider the many varieties of sexual expression as evil. They don't agree in limiting either by law or social customs sexual behavior between consenting adults. In line with their views of an open sexual expression, society should therefore recognize the right to birth control, abortion, and divorce. What is their stance about morality or ethics? Secular humanists don't uphold an absolute system of ethics or morals. They recognize that the values human beings hold are rooted in their human experiences and in their culture. Five aspects of secular humanist morality that are widely accepted today are: number one, the pursuit of happiness is the basic goal of ethical life. Number two, the recognition that each person has equal dignity and value. Number three, the ideal of moral freedom. Number four, tolerance towards the diversity of values and principles in different individuals and groups in society. Number five, the focus on human reason is the basis of ethical choice. Now we will discuss comparatively about the Islamic worldview. Islamic worldview is a set of beliefs that life and existence came into being as a result of the will, desire, and design of the Creator. It is a comprehensive conception of the universe and man's relation to it, the vision of the reality and truth that appears before one's mind's eye, revealing what existence is all about. Understanding the fundamental questions pertaining to the issues of God, the existence of the seen and unseen, universe, man, life, belief, khilafah, ethical values and standard norms, history and sharia. Islamic worldview is the guidance of a balanced approach between both worldly life and akhirah, in which the dunya aspect must be inextricably linked to the akhirah aspect, and in which the akhirah aspect has ultimate and final significance. How the different Muslim thinkers define Islamic worldview. According to Abdul Hamid Abu Sulaiman, a perception or an idea or issue pertaining to the Creator, universe and its purposes, functions, prophethood, man, society, and hereafter as opposed by the other worldviews. According to Kamal Hassan, a comprehensive conception of the Allah, universe and man and their relations from Islamic perspective. Islamic worldview, according to the Al-Attas, Naqib Al-Attas, he describes as the vision of reality and truth that appears before our mind's eye, revealing the world of existence in its totality. Or in other words, a metaphysical survey of the visible and invisible worlds, including the perspective of life as a whole derived from the divine source. What are the fundamental principles of Islamic worldview? First one is the Tawheed, theism, one God. Second one is the Khilafah, vicegerency, and third one is the Adala, justice. So Tawheed lays the foundation of Islamic social order, which teaches men that his socio-economic activities must be guided by the principles from a single common source, that is the Almighty Allah. The source reveals its principles through Quran, to the Holy Quran, which are elaborated by Sunnah. Islamic worldview uses the term vicegerency, Khilafah, instead of sovereignty. By virtue of this position, he is individually responsible to Allah. In the words of Holy Prophet ﷺ, "Kullukum ra'in wa kullukum mas'ulun an ra'iyati," every one of you is a ruler and everyone is answerable for his subjects. Thus, one individual is in no way inferior to another. And the third one is the justice, is the concept of moral rightness based on ethics, rationality, law, natural law, religion, or equality, along with the punishment of the breach of said ethics. Justice is the act of being just and fair. In the Islamic worldview, justice denotes placing things in their rightful place. अगर आप जो जिसको उसका हक देते हैं तो फिर ये इंसाफ है. Putting the things in their rightful place. Okay, what is the status of God in Islamic worldview? Are they accept or not? Or how they are agnostic or theistic or atheist? So as we know that they have the view of God as the Almighty Allah. So we'll discuss about what is the essence of Allah. Believing in Allah and His attributes is a part of Iman to be a Muslim. His essence is the one, Wahid, eternal, endless, and unseen, creator, judge, omnipotent, merciful, gracious, cherisher of the world, and the authority of the day of judgment. His existence is everywhere, and nothing is like unto Him. Everything will perish but He. All attributes of perfection exist in His essence. Climates, joys, sadness, and happiness happen by His command. All goodness and prosperity are of His hands. In essence, Allah is the cause of all causes. Verily, when He intends a thing, He commands it be, and it is. His essence is absolute, eternal, and infinite. His attributes, 99 attributes of Him, most beautiful names, Asma'ul Husna. These names have become objects of devoted recitation of and meditation. Among the names of Almighty Allah is the Al-Hajj, the attribute of being alive. Al-Murid, the attribute of willing. Al-Khaliq, the attribute of being creator. Al-Alim, the attribute of knowledge. Al-Sami, the attribute of hearing. Al-Ilah, the connotation of the word Ilah includes the following: the capacities to fulfill the needs of others, to give them the shelter and protection, to relieve their minds of distress and agitation, superiority and the requisite authority and power to do all these, to be mysterious in some way or hidden from man's eye, and the turning of men eagle to Him. Quranic approach to Ilah. And He is alone is the Ilah in the heavens and the Ilah in the earth. And He alone is the all-wise, the all-knowing. That is, He alone possesses the wisdom and the knowledge required for governing such a domain. وَإِلَهُكُمْ إِلَهٌ وَاحِدٌ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا هُوَ الرَّحْمَنُ الرَّحِيمُ. And your God is one God. There is no deity worthy for worship except Him, the eternally, entirely merciful, especially merciful. Allah la ilaha illa huwal hayyul qayyum. Allah, none has the right to be worshipped but He, the ever living, the one who sustains and protects all that exists. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. All praise is due to Allah, Lord of the worlds. Al-Khaliq. Allah is the originator or creator of everything. Ya ayyuhan nasu ubudu rabbakum alladhi khalaqakum walladhina min qablikum la'allakum tattaqun. O mankind, worship your Lord who created you and those before you, that you may become righteous. The terms such as khalaqa, bada, fatra, ja'ala, sawa, and bara are used for the creation of things. ذَلِكُمْ اللَّهُ رَبُّكُمْ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا هُوَ خَالِقُ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ فَاعْبُدُوهُ وَهُوَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ وَكِيلٌ. That's Allah your Lord. There is no deity except Him, the creator of all things. So worship Him, and He is the disposer of all things. Al-Malik. Al-Malik means the real authority and the real king, who is self-sufficient in himself and his attributes and needs nothing but all things in existence need Him. for everything. Say, O Allah, Lord of power and rule, you give power to whom you want, and you stripes off from whom you want. The term mulk has been mentioned 206 times in the Quran, such as Malakat and Mulk. Linguistically, Malik refers to the attribute of Mulk, which point to power and ability. They don't possess ability. Mulk has also means possession and ownership, the authority of the heavens and the earth. O my people, yours is the dominion of this day. Al-Hakim. Al-Hakim means all-wise. The judicious 33 times are mentioned in the Quran. His wisdom is ultimate, who didn't create and legislate anything in vain. His divine will is perfect wisdom, who is just judge. His scientific creation is the symbol for people of understanding. His decrees, inflicts, and relieves are the most rightful way, place, and time. His all-wise is his creating and perfecting. His commanding, his saying and actions. O Musa, verily, it is I, Allah, the Almighty, the All-Wise. Alif Lam Ra, a book. The verses therefore are perfected and then elaborated from him, who is all-wise, well acquainted with all things. So we have in Islamic worldview, Tawheed is the basic element. So we will discuss now about the Tawheed and its effect on man life. Tawheed. What is Tawheed? The word At-Tawheed derives from the word Wahda, Wahid, which means unity or one. Ahad, the one, is the oneness of Allah, which implies the essence of all reality premises. It is a central theme of Islam, which enables men to understand everything that exists in the universe. The oneness of his existence in words which are identical and infinite. Absolutely no being is worthy to be worshipped but Allah. As the wider, the greater, and the richest meanings of the in the whole of Islam, such as whole belief, a whole value and morality, a whole spirit and matter, a whole culture, a whole civilization, a whole society, a whole politics, and a whole economy. Man's submission to and adoration must be born only to him. He is the eternal absolute and not limited by time and space and circumstances. Divine knowledge through which man may understand the whole perception of Tawheed. As a central theme, core beliefs, bedrock and the beautiful of Islam, which promote spiritual and moral improvements. Why do we need to believe in Tawheed? Tawheed is the backbone of Islam, which has two aspects: Nafi, rejection that there is no God, and Isbat, affirmation that only Allah is the God. As a symbol of unity between human life and manifested laws of other creation, signifying the relationship between Allah, man, the universe. Man is his vicegerent, entrusted his power, and the universe is the subservient to man. The fundamental teachings of all the prophets. Why do we need to believe in Tawheed? A man's innate or inborn natural quality. Man is indebted to Allah for his existence and sustenance. As the essence of Islam, freeing a man from mental, psychological, political, social, economic, cultural, and civilizational slavery. So Islamic worldview is based on Tawheed. What are the effects of Tawheed on man's life? It gives us a wider outlook, gives us self-respect. It creates modesty, virtuous character, optimistic attitude, determination and perseverance, bravery, content hard, total submission to God's command. Okay, then the next thing is the man's status in Islamic worldview. Man origin and his fitrah. Man is a multidimensional creature in Islam who stands between the material and spiritual worlds and partakes the nature of both. Man is created being originated by the command of Allah from clay, who needs resources of the material world for his personal growing and social fulfillment. Spiritually, God vested his own spirit into him that reflects in man's fitrah and that constitutes his relationship to his Lord. So two crucial dimensions of man mentioned in the Quran. First dimension, man is addressed in his ultimate nature, his essential character and behaviors, taking several integral features and attributes such as insan, human being, bashar, mankind, bani Adam, children of Adam. The second dimension is man is as a moral being. His attributes mentioned in the Quran such as khilafa, vicegerency, taqwa, pity, iman, belief, Islam, total submission to God, and ihsan, benevolence. Shortcomings, weaknesses such as fujur, immorality, and al-kufr, disbelieving, nifaq, hypocrite, zulm, injustice, fisk, evil, anger, and so on. Man's position in and his role on the earth. Man is the honorable creature above all. لَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ وَحَمَلْنَا فِي الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ. We honored the sons of Adam, provided them with the transport on land and sea, given them for sustenance things good and pure, and conferred on them special favor above a great part of our creation. Number 2, man is a God vicegerent on earth. هو الذي جعلكم خلائف الأرض ورفع بعضكم فوق بعض درجات ليبلوكم فيما آتاكم إن ربك سريع العقاب وإنه لغفور رحيم. It is He who has made you His agents, inheritors of the earth. He has raised you in ranks, some above others, that He may try you in the gifts He has given to you. For your Lord is quick in punishment, yet He is indeed oft forgiving, most merciful. So, second, our status as the Khilafah, man is vicegerent, entrusted with certain powers to govern the world, given freedom of action, choose right over wrong, has duty and responsibility to his creator, to himself, to his fellow men, and to other creatures of Allah, equipped with knowledge to establish justice, held responsible and accountable for all his actions to the day of judgment, promised paradise if he succeeds in fulfilling his responsibilities, and hellfire if he fails to do so. So Allah sent messenger to guide mankind. What is the status of universe in Islamic worldview? Concept and purpose of universe in Islam. The Quran contains a tantalizing allusion in the sign of cosmic wonder. Or were they created by nothing, or were they the creators of themselves? Or did they create the heavens and the earth? Rather, they are not certain. Allah has made this universe in the most perfect way. Everything has a balance. Everything has a fixed role to play in the working of the universe. Even the tiniest of ants has its place. Universe is Allah's creation, and the earth we have spread it and cast therein firmly and set mountains and caused to grow therein something of every balanced thing. The sun and the moon move by precise calculation, and the stars and the trees prostrate. And these heaven He raised, and imposed the balance, but you not transgress within the balance. Also, it is not allowable for the sun to reach the sun, nor does the night overtake the day, but each in an orbit is swimming. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala clearly says in the Quran about the purpose of the creation of mankind, the ultimate purpose of creation, and I did not create the jinn and mankind except to worship me. So God is the originator of the heavens and the earth. Is not he who created the heavens and the earth able to create the likes to them? Yes, and he is the knowing creator. His commands only when he intends a thing, that he say it to it be, and it is. Have those who disbelieve not considered that the heavens and the earth were a joint entity? Then we separated them and made from water every living thing. They will have, they will, then they will not believe. What are the characteristics of Islamic worldview? It is a divine origin, الثبات, the permanent realities, الشمول, comprehensive, توازن, balanced, الواقعية, realism or practical, الإيجابية, dynamism, التوحيد, the oneness of Allah. So moderation, balanced creation of nature, universe and humans, balanced in religion, balanced akida, belief and thought, balanced worship, balanced in action, balanced moral system, ethical values, and balanced Sharia. Its practicality. It has the practical aqidah, practical ibadah, practical morality, and practical Sharia. Practical ibadah, la yukallifu Allahu nafsan illa wus'aha, laha ma kasabat wa alayha ma iktasabat. Allah doesn't burden anybody beyond his capacity. Everyone will get what he earns, and he will have the burden what he earns. Islamic ibadah maintains variety in its kinds. Physical endeavor such as prayer, financial sacrifice such as zakah, the combination between two such as Hajj and Umrah. Some ibadah are made daily, some weekly, some yearly, and once in a life. So it has the practical morality. وَسَارِعُوا إِلَىٰ مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ, जल्दी जाओ अपने रब की मग़फ़िरत की तरफ और ऐसी जन्नत की तरफ जिसकी चौड़ाई आसमान व ज़मीनों के बराबर है, जो कि मुत्तकीन लोगों के लिए तैयार की है। ये वो लोग हैं जो कि खर्च करते हैं खुशी की हालत में और तंगी की हालत में, और अपने गुस्से को पी जाते हैं और लोगों को माफ़ करते हैं, और अल्लाह एहसान करने वालों को पसंद करता है। देखें अब कितना प्रैक्टिकल है। ये नहीं कहा गया कि इफ समवन आपके एक तरफ थप्पड़ लगाता है तो आप दूसरे चेहरे के दूसरी साइड में उसके आगे कर लें। दैट इज़ नॉट प्रैक्टिकल। वल्लज़ीना इज़ा फ़अलू फ़ाहिशतन, if someone do the immoral things, और ज़लमू अनफुसहुम, ये जुल्म करें, ज़करुल्लाह फस्तग़फ़िरू लिज़ुनूबिहिम, उनको अल्लाह को याद कराओ ताकि उससे तौबा करें अपने गुनाहों की। वमन यग़फ़िरु ज़ुनूब इल्ला अल्लाह, और जो भी अल्लाह से तौबा मांगेगा अल्लाह ताला उसको माफ़ कर देंगे। वलम युसिर्रू अला मा फ़अलू, और वो इसरार न करें अपने गुनाहों पर जानबूझकर। अगर इसरार करते हैं तो दैट इज़ बैड थिंग। जज़ाउ सय्यतिन सय्यतुन मिस्लुहा, बुराई का बदला बुराई के साथ उसी के बराबर, से ज़्यादा नहीं दें बुराई करनी। फमन आफ़ा, इफ समवन फॉरगिव वअस्लहा एंड रिकंसाइल, अजरु अला अल्लाह, तो ही विल गेट द रिवार्ड फ्रॉम ऑलमाइटी अल्लाह, इन्नहु ला युहिब्बुज़ ज़ालिमीन, ही डजंट लाइक द क्रूअल पीपल। व्हेन आक़बतुम फ़ाक़िबू, इफ यू want to punish him equally. And if you have the patience, it is better for those people who have the patience. So it's very practical. Then it is a universal. Islam is a message for all times, message of the whole humanity, and message for all aspects of life. It has a balance. We discuss it, and it has the dynamism. It expresses in the active and ongoing relationship of Allah with His creation, the universe, life, man, and reflects on man's activities in his own sphere. Tawheed, the creation of oneness of Allah. Oneness of Allah, or as known as the Tawheed, is the paramount constituent of the Islamic concept. It is the fundamental truth of the faith and the chief of Islamic concept.